And we're live. I didn't want to pay for the core plan, so no intro video. But I'm here joined by Red Hawk.
Hey,
How
hey.
you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing good, man. It's been a while since we caught each other on one of these things,
I
Dave.
know.
So it's nice that both of us are here.
Yes, it is. It's good to chat. This actually topic was kind of inspired. I was listening to you and Ryan talk yesterday. Uh,
hmm
bitch about bitch about modern video games. I'm like, oh, this seems like a fun topic. I want to bitch about modern video games a bit, but also like I think also one of the things I do on my channel is kind of give at least some advice on like what else you can do besides uh besides just complain about video games. Oop,
no,
there's an echo. Am
no,
I
sounds good. No, sounds good on my end.
hmm. uh some other you guys let me know if you hear an echo. I don't know if maybe it's on X Runner's side, maybe it's not. Maybe it's me. It's hard to say. But yeah, modern one of the things we're talking about is modern media, modern video games. I just staring the screen because I didn't know if I'd had anybody else. I hear it on both of you. Are you sure you don't have like two tabs open?
Yeah, it's probably something ain't right here.
All right. So X Runner is the only one. So it's I think it's on his end. Okay. Hey, Silver Bishop, good to see. Good to see you. This was just I brought this up just as an example. Uh, this was Monster Hunter Wilds, which has I think it's a good example because one, it's 100% a modern video game in the sense that it had a huge production value. It was insanely successful. It sold 10 million copies, just like this giant spectacle. It has a lot of these Western tropes. It's a Japanese made game, but Capcom been having a lot of issues where it's like kind of like really leaned into appealing to sort of what they see as the Western audience, which has a lot of this shit, a lot of like weak guys, a lot of like strong women. He's like this guy looks like a total homo. You know, this guy again, very effeminate. He's got to be saved by a woman. None of these women are ever in distress. Like this kid that's again like he kind of had the young kid kind of has an arc where he sort of becomes more of a man. He kind of understands that there's tough decisions that need to be made, but overall, like
Just
here's your character. It just doesn't have the same feeling that a game like say like Monster Hunter Rise had, where you have you sort of like take over the sort of mantle of being the village chief from another guy that was actually very masculine. It's like has this very like gregarious attitude. He's like has a lot of faith in the sort of youth of the village. He just sort of like looks after it, but he's got like total confidence that the younger generation is going to take over and take care of the village. It's actually a really I think masculine story about you sort of like coming into your own as a sort of leader of your tribe. And it's a Japanese game. It's just such a stark contrast from Wilds, which is kind of focuses on this sort of young boy sort of becoming I guess in some ways becoming a man, but there's also the general story of this sort of almost like this sort of like white savior thing where like you're coming in from the outside and sort of trying to like save this like unknown tribe of people while still trying to respect their sort of culture and their environment and not destroy it. There's a lot of like weird themes, but it just doesn't hit the same way that the old sort of a more Japanese focused, I think, story does.
hmm. I wish I had more to contribute on the Monster Hunter side because I've actually never played any of the games in the series. I know they're growing more and more
Mm.
popular as time goes by, and I know you and like Mish and a couple other guys were excited about the newest game, but I cannot really contribute too much on that one.
Mm. I know one of the things you were talking about before was sort of like Star Wars, and in a lot of cases. That's a game.
So bad.
That's a franchise that definitely took a sort of feminized turn, especially with the latest ones. Where like I watched them, they were a film. I didn't particularly care one way. I'm not super emotionally invested in that universe, so it's kind of easy
I
to
don't think
sort of
like
be like,
any. I don't think
whatever.
like anyone is anymore.
It's so funny to see like I'm in retail stores a lot. It's like all the toys related to those like older franchises, especially like that latest Captain America. Like I see those toys everywhere in clearance bins. Like they didn't sell at all. No one
Mm,
gave a shit about Red Hulk. No one gave a shit about Captain Black American.
yeah.
It's just
I
it.
really hope that 2025 is the year that Cape shit dies because I'm just fucking sick of it everywhere. I see a bunch of people that are like throwing bitch fits right now about like the new Superman movie or something, and just like
Mm,
I've no interest in any of this crap whatsoever.
yeah, it really is sad. And when I looked at like some of the clips, I actually watched the original like Superman with the I don't know if you can really call it the original, but the one with Christopher Reeve.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually thought that was quite enjoyable. It's actually really surprising uh, the sort of the sort of like flirting that happens between Lois and Superman too. It's like I wouldn't expect that in actual modern movie because at one point like she asks if like he can see through her dress, like
Yeah.
what like underwear she's wearing. And it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
huh, this seems almost this is not what I pictured out of a Superman movie, but
Mm-hmm.
you have this sort of like flirting between a man and woman, which it seems like okay back in the day. It's sort of bizarre.
Yeah. Totally agree on that one. You know, it's just do you remember the last like one of these like cape shit movies that I actually saw? I went and saw Endgame in theaters like 5 or 6 years ago
Hmm.
or whenever the hell it came out. And there was that like action sequence towards the end of the movie where just all of the women characters just randomly came out of the
Yep.
battlefield at the exact same time. And I'm like,
Yep.
what the fuck is this? It's fucking cringe. Uh, I actually heard like audible groans like throughout the entire theater, and I went on like opening day with a couple of my friends. Just like, what is this?
They gotta have that moment, man. They gotta have that moment. It's like, oh, this is so bad.
Yeah,
Like,
and I imagine if you you know, I don't think I've ever seen like a Marvel movie like more than once. You know, like they're not like movies I ever like go back to or anything for like any
yeah,
reason. But imagine if somebody was to do that today, it would just be so like even more cringe now because it just like immediately stands out as like a time and place where oh yeah, that's just what everyone did back then. We just had to have our girl boss moments or whatever. I saw in like one of the group chats and Cappy was bitching about like the Red Sonja trailer that's coming out. He's like, I'm just sick and tired of like all this girl boss cape shit. Like, fuck it. I'm not going to the movies anymore. And I don't blame him, man. I really don't.
yep. There was that new Lilo and Stitch, the live action remake.
Mm,
There's there's a scene, and they foreshadow it, but like she has to save Stitch, and she does this sort of like they preface it by she was doing this underwater training for surfing, where like she's walking underwater with like a weight. Like
hmm
they have to have this entire scene where she saves Stitch by like walking underwater up the beach and saving him.
like
It's
something out of Pirates of the Caribbean, you know, like
yeah,
sneak
exactly.
attacking.
Epic
Unbelievable.
music as she like walks underwater. She is, she can apparently hold her breath and just do this sort of like a fire, fireman's carry as a they
Mm.
take it, they take her,
I
take
saw
it
a
up.
comparison. I was just like scrolling through YouTube, and it just came on my feed. Like the EFAP guys, they did a compare and contrast of one scene in the remake live action of the How to Train Your Dragon and the old version. And for some reason, not only did they make a black Viking woman because they just had to, right?
Yeah,
But they had a scene side by side where in the original animated version your male character protagonist is the one who's like ordering all the other characters around like oh okay this is how we're going to plan our attack and they replaced the exact same line of dialogue in the remake live action they gave it to the black woman And it's like,
Mm,
so you literally used the exact same dialogue, but you just gave it to the girl for some reason, because you just cannot have a scene where a man is ordering other people around in a group. This is just impossible. You can't have it.
yeah, yeah, exactly. It was. I saw that. I didn't notice it because I didn't watch the old one. Uh, well, I've seen the old one, but it was like it's been years
Mm-hmm.
that in that movie. I didn't think it was super bad, but to me, it's almost like one for one. Besides, like maybe some of those minor changes that to the original animation, and
Mm-hmm.
when you compare it, the animation's just better. I mean, it
Yeah.
looks better as an animation. When you see like people riding dragons, it's clearly a green screen. It's not
Yeah.
like special effects have gotten better. In some ways, I think they're worse than a lot of the
Yeah.
this
They definitely are.
practical effects stuff.
I mean, it's
Uh,
like you go watch Jurassic Park 1993. It looks way better than any of
yes,
like the new movies. It's not even
it
close.
really does.
Hmm.
I was amazed. I was watching Ernest Scared Stupid and like, well, this troll's costume is really good. Like the
Yeah.
troll, it's like way too good for like this like low budget, like almost like kid oriented horror movie. I'm just like really surprised. Like, damn, they went all out with this, or maybe it's just people just had more skill in that practical effects department. Because this thing seems like it'd be generally scary if I was a child.
Hmm. Yeah, for
Uh,
sure.
and if they did tried it with CG nowadays, it would just look like shit.
Oh yeah, for sure. 100%. I don't know. That just wait. They'll be appropriating that series soon enough too, even though Jim Varney is long
Yeah,
gone. But they'll be
long
like,
since
oh,
then.
it's Ernest's long lost son. Yeah.
Or it's a woman. It'll be like a fucking what's that fat comedian? Fat. Well, I'm sure there's a bunch actually. Some
Amy
fat woman
Schumer.
comedian, Amy Schumer, or something as Ernest now.
Uh,
I was always surprised because Ernest is fighting like the forces of Satan, like way a lot more than I think he would. But
mm,
it's interesting. Like back in the day, they just fought evil. Which another thing that's like everything seems like emotionally like gray now, or more morally gray.
mm. Oh yeah,
You can't-
yeah. It's the other thing too about it for sure. Um, like just you can't have the classic, good guy defeats villain kind of story. Saves a damsel in distress. It's just we progressed
Mm,
past that, which I don't know, man. I haven't like looked up any of the numbers recently to see if like Hollywood or any of these studios are recovering because they've been taking a beating the last couple of years. But I can't imagine that they're doing too well. Still, I mean, it's just like what is interesting to go and see. There's just nothing that pulls me to go to the theaters anymore. I mean, we're talking
mm,
about escaping modern media. The only thing I see is like promotional things every time, like where a movie theater near me is doing like a classic movie, like, oh, come see The Princess Bride, in theaters
mm.
one night only on like Friday. I was like, that's the only thing that's going to save these guys.
Yeah. My brother, I think we're going to be seeing it. I think it's sometime in August. Our local theater's doing a showing of the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the live action one.
Classic.
That one looks like a lot of fun. Other than that, like it was, I think Godzilla minus zero is like, oh,
Oh,
this looks really cool.
mm-hmm,
That's a film that I actually really enjoyed watching, and like some of the stuff like Super Mario Brothers movie I saw with my brother, and
mm-hmm,
like Sonic 3, which I mean they're not like super amazing films, but they're just fun to see, fun like little like popcorn type of flicks to see with friends, and that's basically what I use movies for now. It's not necessarily just fun things to do with people. Either go out with my girl and see a movie, eat some popcorn. It's fun. It's just brain dead entertainment essentially.
mm. Yeah,
But
totally. I don't know, Dave. Tell me about escaping the modern media as it relates to the video game side of things. Obviously, Ryan and I are both fans of your Sunday show. You're giving us the updates on all the video game news, and I guess the indie market is the place to be, and or you could just go back to a lot of the old games. It's very, very strange for me because I think in the last 2 years I've only bought like one new game each year, and it's very, very odd for me because like in previous times of my life I'd be like excited for a game to come out in like the spring, and then like a summer game, and then obviously like fall is a big time for games too. I'd usually buy like three, maybe four in a year or something, but now it's just like no, I'm done. So many of my franchises are just done now. Like I can't play any of the Assassin's Creed games anymore, and
Oh
those were
God,
games where
yeah,
I played almost all of them. It's like they're running out.
yeah. I think they're running out of it. I mean, there's like so many issues with it. I mean, one, it's like just how many times can you milk, that sort of formula before
Mm,
it dies? But like some of these IPs are so expensive that you want to go with a safe bet. And then you also have the sort of issue where like they want to add like black women into it, or like, the latest one where it's like, oh, the one black samurai that may or may not even have been a samurai. Let's put him in. And of course, let's make a Japanese woman the other sort of a lead of it too. That'll be good. That's what people want. So many of those people are like super hyped for Japan, and rather than really sort of leaning in on that they decided to go with something completely different. It's
Gamers are the
shit.
most oppressed minority, man. I tell you.
They really are. They
Hmm.
really are. Even in their own stuff, but even I look in like sports and like, oh, let's have our Pride Month, baseball game.
Oh,
It's like even like dude bros, it's the sports dude bros
yeah.
can't even defend
All
their own thing.
those City Connect uniforms for all of like the MLB teams, all of them are gay. There's just like not a single one of them that looks good, and it's just to create more merchandise for these
Oh
people.
yeah.
I mean, dude, I was talking about this yesterday again when I was on with Ryan, but dude, I'm just becoming such a fucking luddite. I just want all marketers to just be thrown into a pit in Minecraft. You know,
Yeah.
these people are just the worst.
Yeah, no, it 100%, it's 100% true. It's like so much of that stuff is like, how do we optimize it? It's never like sort of like protecting like any sort of like legacy or like honor that came, with the history of it. It's always like, how can we just make more money for the next
Yeah,
quarter? And that's the
that's such
same.
a
It's
good
the
way of
same.
putting it. They just have no honor. You're totally right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the IP of like Call of Duty is just totally shit now. It's never. It
Oh
used to
yeah.
be. I thought at one point, I think even one of the devs said it was about being like this really cool like tactical shooter game. You really feel like you're in it. And, like you're
Hmm.
doing like something badass or this badass like technical operator. And now it's just, hey, it's Snoop Dogg. Hey, it's Beavis and Butthead. It's Seth Rogen smoking a fucking bong or some retarded shit like that. It's like, this
Yeah.
looks so ugly.
Yeah,
Who
it's such a
enjoys
joke.
this?
Yeah.
But
Well, it's because like nobody has like respect for the product that they're actually making anymore. It's just oh okay, dollars and cents. That's all it is.
mhm,
Like nobody's gonna remember any of these games, but people do remember. The original Modern Warfare trilogy. They remember the first like Black Ops game.
yeah,
They remember the stories of the characters. They remember the lobbies. They also remember like the fun that people had, the infamous, the Modern Warfare 2 lobby where everyone was just chucking racial slurs at everybody. And
mhm,
all that stuff is now gone now. All of it. They'll ban you for saying naughty words. They'll ban you for teabagging somebody. Every single character looks like somebody who was just like pulled out of Fortnite because they just have to get every IP in there so they can make an extra $10 off of a skin for something. I just hate all of it, man.
yep. It's terrible. It's you gotta, and they'll do it with AI too. They won't even like have a real
Yeah.
person ban you. It's like, oh, well, automatically detected you saying something in AI. You're banned.
Hmm.
It's everything's just systematic and crap. And everything's like now like a central lobby too, where it's like skill based algorithm matchmaking.
Oh, I
They
hate
just
that
throw
stuff
you
too.
to the lobbies are gone. The sort of
Hmm.
like Team Fortress 2 lobbies where you could just have fun. It's like either you could choose to be casual or try hard, whatever you want to do. There's no sense of community like that anymore. It's just, what getting your number higher in some sort of like this endless like grind loop that they've set up.
Oh yeah,
It's
that's another thing I hate in all of these games now, and it's just in every franchise, even in like places where it just shouldn't belong. I was bitching about Mortal Kombat 1 yesterday, but it's like, why do you need to grind in like a fighting game, dude? It just makes no sense. But the reason they do it is because they just want to make money off of it, dude.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, I don't have like 300 hours of time to grind away to get some of the stuff. It's like, well, you don't have to grind. You could just, pay $20 and you don't have to do the grind. And I,
Yeah.
oppressed minority. I'm telling you, man.
Season pass. Pay your season pass
Oh my god.
for this year. That
Yeah.
they've and that's the thing is like these corporations, like everything's like it's not like a craft anymore. They know they've gamified player retention, like how to optimize the amount of money. So they always have to add in these sort of grind loops because and honestly, Modern Warfare was one of the first games. I'm like, why is there like leveling up and RPG elements in a shooter? I thought that was like so bizarre when I first saw it, but like that's just gone up to 11 now, where they realize, hey, having numbers going up is really good. Having like stars and like things like tabulate that gives you those serotonin boosts. Like these are important parts of getting people to like continue to play these games.
Mm-hmm. Totally. I don't know, Dave. Tell us how you find some diamonds in the rough these days. Well, I mean, everyone kind of gives the generic answer of like the indie market, but is there even a better one? Why don't you tell us?
Uh, I mean, the indie market. That's the thing is the indie market also has a ton of shit in it as well. Like there's so much stuff where I see where it's like everything's like a roguelike. All I have they also have the random loops, or like these like randomization loops like Balaltro and stuff, which are popular and they can be fun. But I've kind of like gone. I think one way you can do it is like you pick a genre and you kind of go into it, a deep dive into it, like stuff like with shoot 'em ups, like it's like
Mm-hmm.
arcade top down style shoot 'em ups. I've gotten into, and there's like tons of like YouTubers that have like a very like niche sort of audience, and they kind of like curate communities where you can check out like the games that they like and just try them. And what's really good about a lot of this older stuff is it's usually pretty cheap, and you can get it if you have like a computer. They're not super demanding on performance, so you can play them either on like a Switch. You have a Switch or a Steam Deck or just an old PC. And there's like they're $5, $10, even like newer indie stuff and older stuff. They're a lot of fun, and they don't necessarily have a lot of this sort of like modern day like grinding and like loops. They're just made to be played like as an arcade style game.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've, I, I don't know. Like, I've never really gotten too much into the indie market scene, and I really just like finally made the switch to like PC Master Race in the last like 2 years.
Mm.
And like I've got like all these old games on all my like my consoles and stuff, and I'm like, one of these days I might just go through all of my backlog basically. But there's just no reason. Like, I've been like an Xbox fanboy like my entire life, but it's like I'm
Mm.
never buying a new Xbox console. There's just no reason for it.
I know now they just release all their stuff on place or on a PC. They don't
Yeah.
really have any exclusives anymore. So, like,
Hmm.
if they do release a new Halo, which will probably suck, sadly,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah. It'll
sure
be
it's going to be
terrible.
on PC D1.
Yeah.
Uh,
It'll be terrible.
but I mean, you can still, I think you can probably get like I think there's like some like Master Chief Edition, which has like all the Halos for, like $30 or something like that, $20.
Hmm.
Like
Does that
I
come with
replay,
the rainbow, armor attachment
yeah,
for online?
exactly. Disability Month, Black History Month, Pride Month,
Hmm.
whatever month they can come up with
That's
to
exactly what everyone is thinking about when they're trying to waste some grunts and some jackals. Yeah.
yeah. And really anything to embarrass heterosexual men
Yeah.
out of the stuff they enjoy, it's worthwhile to them. It
100%.
seems.
Yeah.
I
That's why
mean,
like that's why like I this like notion of like get woke go broke thing is just like entirely misguided, because the point of these activists and these corpos is not to make money. It's literally just to humiliate you and to destroy
mhm.
you, things that you love. So like this idea that, oh well, these companies like actually aren't making any money. It's like it doesn't matter. That they have enough money to be supplemented from other parts of their giant portfolios that all these like companies own now. They will keep pumping this stuff in because like the activism and the humiliation ritual is more important than making the money.
Absolutely. I think that's probably in order to like get the sort of avenues of revenue that they need, it's probably something they have to do, whether it's, funding from BlackRock or whoever. They got to show that they'll play balls in order, and that means they'll still get investment, no matter how shit it is.
Oh yeah, exactly. And the other problem too is, you know, uh, as you just switch on more and more of the globalized world to like the internet and all these other things, you will just find more and more people to pay for the slop. Well, it's no
Oh yeah.
longer a niche. You had to kind of like go out of your way, like to build your own PC or something, and really get catered to by everyone who was kind of like you. It's like, oh no, we got literally a billion Jeets that will absolutely pay for the Snoop Dogg outfit because each one of them is trying to scam somebody else with a quick 10-second short YouTube short of Snoop Dogg assassinating somebody from behind by smacking me over the head with a bong or some shit, whatever the fuck they do now. Well,
Yeah. They
yeah.
got a unicorn that like shoots out like rainbow farts or something and kills them, or some bullshit like that. I think that is an actual like thing, but it's that ridiculous. But yeah, it's same thing with like movies. Like you can just put out some like bullshit with a bunch of explosions and like the rely on the Chinese market to, as even like a tenth of them see it, they'll probably outdo the American market. There are just so many fucking people.
Oh yeah, yeah. Way, way, way too many.
Mm. But it's, well, I mean, at least, I mean, the upside I think is a lot of like Japanese entertainment. At least some of the companies I like it still make stuff that, at the very least, I don't think it's insulting men. It's actually made like for men.
Yeah, yeah. For how much longer though? I mean, like Miyamoto's got to die at some point.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, exactly. It does make me worry. But hopefully, at that point, maybe some Western places will be turning around and actually making shit that people like. I mean, there still is like when you get into like smaller indie companies. I mean, you can still play the old stuff. I like played Chrono Trigger not that long ago, and I really enjoyed it. It's a
mhm.
classic game. It's worthwhile to go back and play some of the classics. It really like does give you an idea of like, whoa, they're like in Chrono Trigger, like the scenes go by so quickly. Like, oh, when they're not like voice acting, like these long cut drawn out scenes, it's like a freaking movie,
Mm.
because they didn't have the space. Like, wow, this is really snappy. Like, it's a 20-hour RPG. It's which is like unheard of, and like I guess nowadays you probably even couldn't market because like, wow, I got to pay like $70 for a 20-hour game. No way.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
people wouldn't buy it. So it's
It's just so. This question about like escaping modern media, I feel like is much easier with as it relates to like TV shows or movies because you just have such a 100 years of backlog, particularly on like the movie side of things, and then
mhm.
you got decades of like good TV for you to just go back and watch like some of the good stuff. Like go watch Batman the animated series, or go watch like House or something. Or there's plenty of good TV shows you can go back and watch, and there's obviously even more good movies. But like on the video game front, you run into problems like either maybe you don't have the console for the old games, maybe what is this movement that people are talking about, like save the games thing,
Stop
like
killing games.
stop
Yeah,
killing games? Yeah, yeah. So it's like some games are literally just like taken offline with a lot of their
yeah,
core features just shut down literally for forever. Um,
yeah.
yeah,
That's
so
becoming more and more an issue because like starting like early 2000s, you had like a lot of live service, always on live movement sort of becoming more of a thing. And now that a lot of these games are shutting down, because the consoles they were made for get old, a lot of the features, like you mentioned, like the crew and stuff, I think was the game that started it, where, people invest a lot of money because you have that live service element where they want you to constantly spend cash. But when they decide to shut it down, you can't play the game anymore. It literally requires an online connection. So even single player stuff is totally useless. Like I don't know
Mhm.
if you play. I think you've played League of Legends. Like what
Yeah,
happens when that dies? I
yeah.
c- well,
I,
what
st-
are
I,
all
st-
your
I
stuff?
still play. I still play League with my
Mm,
friends occasionally, and
mm.
yeah, I mean, there will come a day when the sun explodes and the servers are taken down or
Yeah.
whatever,
Or they
or
said release League of Legends 2 or something like that. Who
yeah,
knows?
yeah, or somebody at Riot gets fired for saying an inappropriate joke or some shit,
Yeah.
but. Or maybe one day the game will just become way too hostile to its actual player base. I mean, the league has been really notorious for this, for chat banning people for literally saying anything, for being just way too accommodating towards women. We gotta get women in the space of League of Legends stuff. And it's just so amazing because there's never been a woman who's made the cut for any of the pro teams, and they did like an all women's like pro team that
Yeah.
really tried to push it, and they got like 170th place like in the
They
world or
got
something.
blown out. They
Yeah,
just got I think they
absolutely.
might have hold the record for like quickest loss
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that
It's
stuff.
just like they're not as good, and they're never going to be as good. Just accept
No,
it.
they can't.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. They don't seem to realize that they're naturally worse. It's not just a strength thing. It's there's an IQ, reflexes, all that stuff plays a part.
Hmm. Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Nuke? Speaking of IQ, we got the highest IQ man right here.
Yeah, the average IQ is 70 for Dominican, so watch out, guys.
Oh, you're
I
operating a
might blow
nuclear
you away
sub?
with my eye takes. Yeah, but that was all luck. That was all luck. That's the level of competence we have in the military. So,
I wonder
so I
what the
heard you
average
guys are talking
IQ
about
in the
video.
military is. Yeah, we're talking about
Oh, you
video.
don't want to know, dude. Yeah, you don't want to know the average IQ. Let's not go there. I don't want to worry anyone.
Mm. Yeah, but
Yeah, talking
Yeah,
about
you guys
video.
are talking about video.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're talking about modern games and modern entertainment of all stripes. Well, I don't know, Nuke, you playing any good games recently?
I just finished Expedition 33, and I started Death Stranding.
Oh,
Oh,
the first one?
The first one, yeah.
Oh, okay. So are you planning on playing the second one, or you gotta wait and see how you like the first?
Yeah, I'm gonna finish the first one and then I'll hop on the second one and then playing the Jurassic World Evolution, I think it's called. The Jurassic
yeah.
Park Builder.
I actually got back into playing that after I saw you play that on stream. Because I
Yeah.
was chilling around, screwing around with that. I know the third one's coming out later this year, so that'll probably
Yeah.
be something I'm streaming when it comes out. But
Hmm.
yeah, that's like kind of pretty much it. I mean, I've been playing, like, I go back and play League with some of my friends, and I go back to Helldivers and play that with my friends. But that's pretty much like all I'm really going to these days.
Mm.
You know?
Hmm.
I do miss like a pretty good like single player experience, though. It's uh, going the way of the dinosaur. That genre of game.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, exactly.
I see what you did there.
Mm.
Yeah, it's sad because like what makes us happy isn't a lot, but it just seems like there's a group of people that'll never be happy no matter how woke or non-woke a game is or and all that. It's just really I just want to build a park with dinos. That's really that simple and make it easy for me to do it, and I get that like there's certain games that will always have expansions, like park builders and like RTS games will always have expansions. That's been since day one, since the first Age of Empires came out. There was always expansions for that, right? And I get that. But why do I have to pay expansions for games like Witcher 3 or Witcher 4? You know?
Mm.
Uh
Yeah,
like I don't get that.
I don't know, like the I don't know. I think The Witcher 3 might be a bad example because I think some of the expansions for that are literally like the best ever.
Yeah, they were good.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were pretty good.
really,
Maybe
really good.
what is a game or hear me out. They what is this like seasons? I didn't even know I remember seeing my first like season pass on PlayStation Store. I'm like, what is this? And it's just like,
Mhm.
oh, if you want more stuff, you got to pay the full price or almost the full price of the game
Hmm.
to get a little bit more content. I'm like, That doesn't sound.
Dude, this is all fucking Fortnite-ification of all games. I mean,
Yeah.
I played that game for a little bit like years ago, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess I get why people like this. It's kind of fun and stuff. But the consequences of that game for the whole industry have just been catastrophic. That and GTA 5, those two games have just nuked the entire industry for forever. If I had the time machine, I would just go back and be like, no, we're
Don't kill Hitler. We gotta
yeah,
take care of these guys.
yeah. Hitler never destroyed any of my video games, Dave. All right.
It's true. He didn't. He actually World War II seems like to be the most popular thing for a ton of
Yeah, really.
material.
You know, if he
It's
was
like
so
the
bad,
only.
how come he's not in jail? All right. So,
But that is crazy. Like Diablo 4 was a big thing that did like seasons. Like the second someone sees like, oh, this game's making a gazillion dollars, we got to do the same thing. We got to get in on this. If
mhm.
not, like fighting games are notorious now for that too, where
Yeah, fucking
they
Mortal
have like
Kombat is doing seasons. Like the fuck, man.
every game has to have like a 2 to 3 year timeline. It's not like here's the base game and here's our 2 to 3 year roadmap where we're gonna drip feed features and shit to then pay charge you $5 for this stuff. Even there's a big controversy with Tekken where they released like the ultimate pass, which is supposed to like a first year all the content you got for like $100, and then they released a special stage where you had to pay $5 even though you had the pass. So it's just like,
What the hell?
oh, yeah. It's like people
At
were
some
super
point,
pissed
man.
off about that. It's like, give me a break.
It's not like an art for these people anymore. Like, do you remember in a bunch of the old games where you could just find random Easter eggs throughout the entire map, or if you put like a button code into a certain way, it just like grew like giant hands or something ridiculous, that just like didn't really make any sense, but it was just something neat and a little bit like of a nod from the devs to the actual players of the games. And now you just literally don't have any of that. It's just a corporatized product. It's like, oh well, corporate mandates. We have XYZ amount of female characters. Ever corporate mandates that we have to have a cutscene right here. It's just. I feel bad for like the Zoomers and the Gen Alpha guys coming up. It's like, oh man, you weren't there. You weren't there for us in like the mid 2000s and the early 2010s when pretty much like every game that was coming out was just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys think so what do you guys think about like the online community for a game ruining it or making it near unplayable? You guys, is it only like how much percentage is the developers and how much percentage is the online community that it attracts? And do you think, and I guess it varies per game, right? Like I would say like I played uh the new Sparking Zero Dragon Ball game and it was the most overhyped game in a long time. People were like, every day there was like, I would see a 30-minute YouTube video about one minor kind of like update or something to the news. And like people were obsessed with this. And then it came out within like 2 months, people just stopped playing it.
Hmm.
And it was because everyone in the online community was always picking the strongest characters and beefing them up. And I would say like stuff like that. And I left the game too. I was like, I can't play this. Like I can't play this online. Like everyone is playing the strongest characters and it just takes the fun out of it. So it's like I think I don't want to be that guy that blames the Zoomers or anything like that, but I think their take on gaming for them it's more important their kill death ratios, their rank than it is to actually enjoy the game. I think they derive a lot of more ego and accomplishment than games than we did. We just wanted to play with our friends. I think that could be something that changed the game too, changed the industry too.
I, there's definitely something to the fan base kind of. I mean, we talk about it the same way with like our content creation stuff. It's just like hate your audience just a little bit. I think it's very much the same with a lot of the consumers of a certain product for the game. I mean, we're talking about all this like ridiculous crap that they put in there, like skins wise, and people will pay for it. So there's like just no incentive for the developers to actually make like a decent game. If people are just going to pay for the slop, literally. So there definitely is something to be said for that as well. And I think there's there's also like a growing I don't know, Dave could probably speak on this more, but there's definitely a growing community of people who want all these games to be way more accessible. It's like, I don't want like hard and difficult games anymore. It's like, but really? Why not? Yeah.
They want pause menus added in, or like these, like their big thing in Dark Souls, like we need to make it easier. Like they'll show like some guy in a wheelchair will come out. Like we need more accessibility features that 99.9% of the player base don't need. There's a female streamer saying like that being a mom was a situational disability. You have to like take care of your kids sometime, and you have to like, if you can't pause in the boss fight, how are you going to take care of your kid? Like, what the fuck does this even mean? So yeah, there is that too. Like,
What the hell?
I think games are too easy. I think with a situation where like, especially with like people in queues, I think that's more of an issue where like everything's just forced into one queue nowadays. Like you have like a certain like ranked queue where there's everything's like this algorithmic, skilled matchmaking where you just, and even like, I've been players that like are really good at like certain games that can play in like every match they have to play online is like a sweat fest. There's no like casual like queue where you just like play with people, or you can set up your own like private lobbies to just play with people that are more your speed, where people want to try different stuff. It's all like meta. You have to get in, play like the top stuff if you want to have a chance, or like you're throwing. So that part of the community is definitely off-putting to like people that just want to play casually.
Yeah, I guess that's why Helldivers was so popular, because people were kind of fed up with like competition. Like, yeah, I like back in the day when I played Modern Warfare 3, I was like, it's gonna be hard because everyone's trying to win. But it just felt like every day I played, I would get one more kill and one less death or something, or every week. Like it was like I could see myself getting better slowly, and my friends would be like, hell yeah, you're getting better, and then it would be fun. But now it feels like you hop on Apex Legends or anything like that, and it just feels, even if you're like off for a week or a month, bro, you fall behind. It's like, what is this? What is this? True. Holy shit.
Yeah. There's just so much grind now in a bunch of these games that if you like take a break for a bit and then you decide to come back into it, and some guy grinded like 300 hours ahead of you and he has this like really OP advantage somehow, whether it's like a certain gear or certain gun or whatever, and you're like, oh, okay, and that's how these companies get you too, is they put really advantageous weapons behind either a paywall or behind an extreme grind, and it's like I ain't nobody got time for that, man.
Oh yeah, there's always the power creep that happens in these live service games where if you're not up on the latest stuff, you miss a certain event, then you're bricked your account essentially. The fact that that's like a thing
that's what
now
happened with my Hearthstone account, man. Like I reached gold in all of the classes in Hearthstone, and I took like a year off, and like by that time there were like 2 expansions that came and went, and I was like, I would literally need to spend like $1,000 for me to get like all the cards I would need to get back into this. And I was like, I'm just done, and it sucks.
I think Battlefield. I think Battlefield was the tipping point where they just memed that game into existence, where you had to pay for like everything, the pay to play stuff. I think was it Battlefield that was the tipping point where guys were just like, all right, this is ridiculous, and they started making fun of it, and the studio wouldn't budge. I remember that saga. That was hilarious. That was good times.
Yeah, I never played Battlefield, but yeah.
So is it Battlefront or Battlefield? No, it's the Star Wars one. Battlefront. Yeah, Battlefront.
Oh yeah,
where it was. Remember, everything was pay to play. Like if you wanted something, you had to pay like $1, and then if you wanted something else, it was like $2. And by the time you got the build or the character you wanted, it was like $100 or something.
Well,
there was like, yeah. If you wanted Darth Vader, 2,000 hours or $100.
Unbelievable!
Hey.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Such bullshit.
Yeah.
It's like if you just and like something like that, man. Like the original Star Wars Battlefront 2 from 2005 is regularly regarded as one of the greatest games ever made. And
it's a masterpiece, right?
Yeah, you could just be printing money if you just treated your customer base properly and made a good quality game that people would just want to play forever. I know that the 2017 Battlefront 2 was getting updates into like 2021, and I know the community is actually pretty still active with it. It still has like 50,000 players like on a day normally, and I know it's been fixed like a lot, but I do know in like the last patch they still released like a bunch of game breaking bugs into it, so they're still there. They're never going to get fixed. But it's just like it's so easy to do Star Wars properly, man, and they just can't help themselves. They just have to squeeze every last little dime out of people. No.
Yeah. I mean, can it even be made anymore? Is another
That's a good
thing.
point.
I mean, like Civ. I know you're a big Civ player, but the difference between Civ 6 and Civ 7, where like double the amount of people are playing Civ 6 than they played the initial release of Civ 7, was crazy
Wow.
to me.
Wow.
Like double the active player base. It's
I
crazy.
saw like 2 game trailers for Civ 7, and I was like, aside from like the graphics, which are kind of cool with this, all the gameplay stuff just makes the game easier. And I'm like, I'm done. No, I don't want any part of this. And then of course they put in like Harry Tubman, which isn't even a real historical figure. So it's like, yeah, the fuck is this?
They also like had some like stuff like climate change, but people, the thing that surprised me is people weren't even willing to try it. It didn't seem like they even wanted to bother. Like, yeah, I'm good with Civ 6.
Yeah, I
Like,
think with
even
a community like that, that it's just it takes like a certain kind of player to get involved in a game like that, especially when you're playing so deep into the lifespan of some of those games, like the people who've been playing Civ 6 for forever. Like that's just like their game. It's that
Yeah.
specific community. It really takes them quite a bit to get involved in something else. I remember it took forever for people to make the switch from Civ 5 to Civ 6 because like for the first couple of years of that game's life cycle, they're like, oh, well, Civ 5 is just way better. The modding community got their hands on it, made it really, really good. And then Civ 6, which I liked. I liked Civ 6 quite a bit, but I know not everyone did.
Yeah, and I think Civ 5 still has the same amount of players that were playing Civ 7. That player base was about the same. It's pretty funny. But I think that might be one of the ways to kind of avoid modern media, like I said, was like niche down and find stuff that you can say that's more like hyper focused on an audience that you enjoy. Like even I don't know if RPGs, you can still play a ton of like good RPGs that you haven't played yet. They take a long time to get into. I mentioned shoot 'em ups. There's probably some old fighting games though. Some of that stuff that's more sort of like PvP oriented. It's hard to play some of those old games anymore, since you're not going to find anyone to play against really. Those unfortunately are kind of, if they're not really single player focused, it's hard to go back.
Yeah. Well, what do you guys think of games that are released? I don't know if you guys talked about this, like games that are released incomplete or shitty, and then they just do all the back work to like make it playable. I could already name two games that are like this. Like Final Fantasy 14 was like this, and then they went in and they fixed a whole bunch of things, and then suddenly it beat World of Warcraft in terms of amount of people playing. I don't think anymore, but it used to, like 2020, it did. And then what's the other game where like when it was released, it was all I think No Man's Sky. For you, if you guys play Space
Yeah,
games.
that's kind of like the go-to for that. Yeah.
And I never played No Man's Sky before it was like when it was released, but I played it after they apparently fixed everything. Dude, I had a blast, but I'm like, I'm kind of worried because now is this the new thing to do? Like release a game kind of shitty or
Yes.
fuck it, and then what do you guys think? Oh, and then have the audience bitch and complain and then they fine tune it. I don't know if that's good or bad. Honestly, who knows?
It's definitely good from a company's perspective because if the game is just going to be a dud anyway, they could just count their losses and move along. I mean, I think just like a good consumer practice at this point, if you're like a buyer of these games, is in most circumstances, just don't buy a game like the first year it comes out. Well, especially if it's not like an online experience, or it's not something you want to go like grind or play with your friends or something like that. but there's just no reason for it. Number one, you're gonna run into like some deal like 1 year down the road anyway, where like all of the DLC is gonna get bundled into one, and then like a year later you could probably buy it with all the DLC back for like the original price of the game or whatever. So it's just good for you to like save a little bit of money. And once you kind of get into that like flow state of doing that, it's just like, oh, okay, I just buy games when they're on sale or like a year or two out. You know, you could still get yourself a pretty nice catalog of recent enough games that keep yourself occupied. You'll just have like a lull period for a bit where you're just like not playing anything new. But it's like we said, there's so many old games you can just go and pick up, man.
Yeah.
So you're
I
saying
think
just be a little bit more cynical when it comes to like the Jurassic
Oh,
Park game
man.
that you mentioned, Hawk, is going to come out. I think September. I think it's September, and I'm kind
Yeah.
of like Steam is hyping it up, and I'm kind of excited, but like
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be hard not to download it when it comes
Yeah.
out. You know, it's
I
going to be
mean,
hard. I get what you're saying, but it's just tough because it's
yeah.
like you look forward to it and you want to be part of the hype, and then you download it and you're just like, this is the same game. I just paid $70 for the same game again, or something shitty or whatever. But
Yeah.
who knows?
Yeah.
It's
That's
tough.
a good point. So
yeah.
go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, there is that like the playing like as part of like a community and part of the hype is definitely like part of consuming media that it's hard to resist some of that newer stuff. And to talk about like some of like the early access that's kind of like, and even like AAA stuff kind of seems like it's almost early access nowadays. Like they've even adopted that where like we're gonna release stuff. It's not, there's a lot of stuff that isn't complete or like it's part of our timeline, and they they sort of like work on it and like, oh, you don't like this, okay. And I think some good companies will listen to the community and like change it and like do things well. There's also issues with like Helldivers though, where like they're changing stuff and like I think they're making they made the game worse for a while. People didn't like it, so that's another issue. But there's also, I think, smaller companies that use early access as a legitimate like funding tool, where like they have enough capital to sort of get out like a proof of concept. Like I can think of like Valheim I really enjoyed, which was very bare bones and like they're slowly added to it. But like you can play the initial game, it's fun enough and it's cheap enough when they first bring it out that you don't feel bad like that it's a little bit bare bones. And then they slowly add to it as like the game becomes, better and gets more and more sales.
Yeah. I still think Expedition 33 is going to be the game of the year this year. It kind of shook the AAA game industry so much, and I had an argument with this guy online, and he said that it's not going to win game of the year for whatever reason. I'm just like, it's not so much it's the best game. It's that it really answers all the questions that guys complain about AAA games, like bloated studio, the wokeism. The girls in there are hot. They're not fat. They're not. They're just. It's two. Your party consists of one hot Asian chick and one hot white chick with great voice actors. The story is amazing. You have the evil bad guy is whoever does the voice of Schmeagol, Andy Serkis, I think, from Lord of the Rings.
Oh, cool.
He voices the evil bad guy in that game. So you have a game that has talent, you have a game that has story, you have all those things. And I'm like, it was made with 33 people, I think, a studio of 33 people, young people, like not
Yeah.
like these old men that want to like inject like their own pet ideologies and all that stuff. 0% woke. I mean, obviously you have the strong empowered female character, but you kind of have to have that at the point, or and
Yeah.
yeah, I think if this game wins game of the year, then there's going to be lots of layoffs coming, maybe, hopefully.
How would you put it up against the Final Fantasy remake? I know you played that too, right?
Oh, Rebirth was a mess. Like I liked it in the moment because nostalgia. It was like a nostalgia bomb. Like my biggest nostalgia bomb my whole life is playing this game.
Mhm.
But the thing is, it parallel timelines. They did it again. What game or movie when they start using parallel timelines and time travel? What when have you ever seen a movie that uses this that you don't like lose yourself, or the audience kind of like
Yeah,
their eyes go over
nobody
and
does it
they're just
right. Yeah.
no one. Back to the Future maybe did it right, but because that was the kind of theme of the movie was traveling, but that's it. So it lost, like the player base is going away. And also, Expedition 33 was $45 on PlayStation Store when I bought it. And see,
Yeah.
that's another thing. Like
Nice.
we're like now games are $70, and this game's like, yeah, we'll sell it for 45. No updates, nothing. The game, there was one update like 2 weeks ago, and I was like already finishing the game, and it was just like the update was for you to like be able to change like little parameters to make the game harder for yourself if you wanted a challenge. Like nothing like like something to add to the game to make it more fun. Like, hey, by the way, guys, we'll go do this and have fun.
I was impressed
Yeah.
when God of War Ragnarok did much of the same thing. It was like 1 year after the game released. Okay, we're just going to release an entire standalone DLC story at the end for entirely free, and we're going to make it very, very difficult, and that's it. Well,
And goodbye.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And I'm just saying, like, you know, you may not be into RPGs, get it? You may not like the French because it's a French game and all that stuff. But it just answers or it spits in the face of the bloated, shitty AAA game industry so much that if they win, I would consider it a win for gamers as a whole. Like cheaper games, better story. You have talent, like you have the one, you have Schmeagol as voice acting the bad guy in the game. And it's like I'm watching a movie. Obviously, a lot of guys don't like movie games; they like gameplay more. But for what it's worth, it was an amazing game. And I think that if this wins Game of the Year, maybe the layoffs start. Maybe they start laying off people and we can get this shit back on track. Who knows?
I mean, they are laying off a lot of people right now. Microsoft, I think, laid off like 9,000
Mm.
people. Of course, they're still like trying to bring in H-1B1 hires, but
Ah,
who
Jesus
knows
Christ!
what that's going to be? Who knows that's going to be a thing. But that it was Expedition 33 was a pretty
Microsar.
hello. I mean, that's what their CEO, I think, is
Make it stop. Like my girlfriend lost her account because of scammers a couple days ago, bro. I hate these people. God, I hate fucking scammers so much. They called me the other day to get the last four of my. They were like, "Hey, it's Navy Federal. Your account has been or someone used your card for a big purchase. Can you give me the last 4 digits of your credit card?" And I'm just like, "Oh, sure." And then I'm like, "Wait a minute, this is an Indian voice." And then I went onto my banking app and I'm like, "No, everything's fine. Have a good day." And then they call me back 3 times.
Yeah, you got to check every time, man. Like
fuck these people, man.
Yeah.
Fuck these scammers.
It's even worse now.
Yep.
Dude, did you see what they did recently with this? So the Bank of America call in like customer service line that you use, scammers have taken the lines that are one number like digits away on both sides. So when you call them up thinking you're calling like the Bank of America helpline, it's just a scammer. And it's a whole operation, and it's like, fuck these people, man.
Yeah.
Just anyone, all of humanity will thank you if you cut the internet cables to India. Just
shut them off.
Yeah,
we need the digital firewall. It needs to be the next big wall that we secure.
Jesus.
That really is going to have to be. That will have to be the future of the internet. Is for little sections to be ghettoized again.
Yeah, no World Wide Web.
Whoever figures out how to do that will save us all.
Question for you guys: like the I'm just gonna call them scammers. I don't want to get Dave's channel in trouble. We'll call them scammers. So when the scammers, they've already kind of ruined Twitter in a way. You have to have an active mute. Like you have to mute every day. Something new words. Like I muted the thread emoji because I'm like I can't take it anymore. So I muted the thread emoji. And I still get lists like this is how you get her to always say yes to everything you do as a man, and then it's just like a meme or something, or a picture of the world's most interesting man commercial or whatever the fuck. And I was like, this has got to stop. And then they ruined dating apps because now the OnlyFans girls are just like, hey, Sar, make me a profile and pretend to be me, and we'll make 20 profiles of me, and that way. So they ruined dating apps. How fast or when do you think it's going to touch the gaming industry? Like I know Dave just said they're going to hire a whole bunch of H-1B people for Microsoft. Like at what point do you think that it's going to, like these people are going to affect the gaming industry?
Well, they definitely have already done it with the mobile games. I don't know if
Oh yeah,
anyone's-
the Sudoku for old people, where they scam them into buying stuff. Jesus Christ.
yeah. They've definitely done that already.
Yeah.
When it reaches like the AAA industry, I don't know. I could totally see it where a point comes where in order to inflate your like company stock profile or something, you have to see how many congruent players are playing your online game, and all of them just like fake cheats or something. Like I could totally see that happening sometime soon.
Oh yeah, I think a lot of ways that stuff's already being done in a way where they're like inflating numbers. I wouldn't be surprised where they're, and I think there already is like there's like bad game design based on like upping retention and upping numbers like that. And more of these tech companies are getting Indian CEOs and hiring H-1B1 labor. I don't know if how when it's just going to turn into like a complete scam, but it's definitely coming down the line where it's all that optimization of like how do we get the most players for the least amount of money? How do we make it as cheap as possible? But it's ridiculous that there still seem to be bloated as hell and just overall garbage. Like, it's hard to quantify, but you can definitely tell like a game like Expedition 33, which had a small team and a very dedicated, and they wanted it to be well, versus a game like Diablo 4, which had like 9,000 credits on their list.
Holy shit, dude!
Literally
9,000.
9,000, and it's like it's not 9,000 times better. It's like the GDP, like it's 3 times as much. Like your life's not 3 times better. Like it's like these numbers are just going up, and what are you getting for it? You can tell it's not as good.
Yeah, 100%. No,
Jesus, 9,000 people.
I think they just include everyone that it got. The caterers must have gotten the credit and the stuff. I don't even imagine how they do it. How they get
Who
that many
was the
people.
Who was the game developer that went on an interview and he said that like it was hard to get his employees to do anything? Like he would put on a whiteboard, "Hey, this needs to get done today," and then he would go to the employees, or just he would check, "Hey, is this done?" And it would take him like 2 days to get something he used to do like in 10 minutes or 20 minutes. I think it was the creator of Gears of War. Was it Gears of War? I don't know. I just saw an interview. Maybe I'll send it to you one day.
I
Soon.
believe it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Regardless, I totally believe it. Yeah.
Yeah. But how much? Like again, if you can make a AAA game with 33 people and it be a game of the year, at least a contender, right? Because you have Kingdom Come Deliverance, you have all these great titles too. Dude, like
Kingdom
how
Come
the
Deliverance
fuck
is
are?
still small too.
Yeah, it started with like the Kickstarter fundraiser was 11 people, and then ended up being like 236, which is more than 33, but nowhere near as close to 9,000. Like, how are the stockholders, how are the CEOs of these companies going to justify 9,000 people to make a game that wasn't game of the year, or at least had some kind of like accolade or player base or something? That's crazy.
They don't give a shit about like how many like game. I guess game of the year maybe, but overall it's like how much money is it making? Like how much did we
It's the
make off
money.
microtransactions? How many
Yeah,
concurrent
true.
players? Or like they'll put up a thing like 33 million players have played our game. It's like
Not to make this into a political thing, but again, like I just want to destroy all libertarians because like I'm just sick and tired of this argument of the microtransaction thing. So it's like, well, if you don't want it, then don't pay for it. It's like, dude, it has been a good 15 years now since these have been in the industry, and can anybody say with a straight face that they've made the thing better? Nobody can say that. They should just be banned. I don't care like what kind of legislation needs to come in to stop all of this stuff, because it's just destroying the entire industry. I don't care if you can make the argument like, oh, if you don't like it, don't pay for it. It doesn't matter, because there's literally a billion people on the planet who will pay for it because they're just complete brain dead drones. And it
that's what I was
doesn't
going to
matter.
get to next, Hawk. I wanted to ask you guys about that. Like now, when a game releases, whether it be shitty or good or whatever, these companies are taken to like gaming influencers and stuff like that to kind of sway people
Oh yeah.
Like, hey, I actually played this game and it's not too bad, guys. I don't see the problem. Do you guys feel there's a lot of gaslighting now? Like,
yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
like, who do you even trust anymore to like review a game before you drop 70 or 80 bucks on it? You know?
I have to. It's almost like 9 times out of 10, I have to be recommended a game by like 2 or 3 of my own personal friends,
Mm.
and that's like it really. I mean, and like you guys count too, obviously, you know, and stuff. But like, it just has to be people that you know, because like I know Dave makes fun of this, and a lot of people do too. But like, every game that IGN reviews is a 7, like,
Yeah.
no matter what it is, you know. So it's like,
Unless
well,
it has
I'm going to
gay
you
shit
guys
in it.
fucking lying.
If it's
Yeah.
got troons in it, then it's a 9.
Yeah.
And that's the only exception.
Mm-hmm.
No, this was a huge issue with Monster Hunter Wilds, because I'm used to the old days. Like, the old school nerds were like, they loved the games, but they were like the harshest critics on the games they loved. So like they'd literally pick apart like every little thing. And I mean, that's kind of like the usual like autistic thing to do. It could be kind of annoying in some ways, but nowadays with these influencers, like they're just, it's like nonstop toxic positivity. And like Capcom, in order to like get early access so you can like make guides and make money and get all that, you know, they're basically access media now. You've got to be a complete shill. So with Monster Hunter Wilds, everyone's like, this is the greatest game ever. You know, it's a 10 out of 10. There's some issues with it, but it's a 10 out of 10 is what one reviewer is watching. I'm like, that's not a 10 out of 10 if it's got issues. Like, that's what 10 out of 10 means. But this is the kind of shit they were saying about it. And it clearly had some issues. I enjoyed the game. It was fun. I don't feel bad for buying it, but like any sort of objective stuff, like with the people that are being watched the most on these games, they're totally bought and paid for. And there was also like
Yeah.
this big issue. People were giving like Blue Archive shit because they were like giving like Steam reviewers you know bonuses if enough people reviewed the game, and that's apparently against, you know, Steam's rules. But all of these companies just buy off influencers constantly. Like, you can't trust them anymore. You can't trust people that are actually like part of the community, in air quotes, to review a game, because they're not objective at all. Their money and their livelihood is tied into people picking up and buying the game and, you know, continually getting views. So unless like they're a content creator that's more about, you know, generally reviewing a bunch of games, then I'll trust them. Or like maybe there was a few like Monster Hunter players that were like legit, you know, able to like keep their sort of objectivity and say like, hey, there's some issues with the game. I enjoyed it, but there's like some real issues that you may not enjoy. They're
think-
able to do that, and I'll respect them for it. But yeah,
I
it's a
think
real
if you're
crap.
looking for reviews for a certain product or a certain franchise, something like that, you're best off finding somebody who kind of makes that their thing. You know, like you can't really trust a general, just like video game reviewer, like Twitch streamer or something like that, to review this stuff, because you just know they're going to be a shill. But because like YouTube just has a niche for literally everything, you know, they can go watch like farrier content if you want to, someone taking care of like horses or something, or you can watch somebody who like makes like wooden spears or something. That's all he does. Or you can just find a guy who all he plays is like Jurassic World Evolution, and that's it.
Mm.
You know, and like that guy's opinion on these things, even though he might not have too many subscribers or anything, I trust that guy's opinion way more than like, again, like Access Media, IGN shills to get invited to like all the events or something like that.
That was that was one of the issues with the Capcom thing, is like there's guys that literally just play Monster Hunter World, but because that's their entire channel's revenue, they don't want to criticize the game. They just have to be. Well, I mean, maybe the park games like niche enough that, or like, you know, something like maybe Civ, where like maybe they're like at the 25,000 sub mark where they're maybe making a living, but they're not. It's not enough where like it's like 1 million, like 250,000, where the ones that I especially don't trust, and if you look at their videos, they're always covering the latest game. Those people are almost 100% shills, because it's just like, what's the latest trending game that I can cover and make guides on? They're almost always like industry. They're working with industry, or they're complete plants. They're just in it to make money.
Yeah, I just feel like we're getting gaslit, man. Like,
100%.
This is what it feels like. Like, you get hyped up for a game and you play it, and like you're like, yeah, you know, at the beginning of a game, you're not gonna know if it's good or bad yet. You're gonna be like, yeah, the combat's clunky, but maybe I'll get an upgrade later to make my combat better. Or I don't understand what's going on with the story, but it's gonna make sense later. And then an hour in, and then 2 hours in, and 3 hours in, you're just like, I think it's good. And then you go online on Twitter, and they're just like, man, this is one of the best games I ever played. They really outdid themselves. And you're just like, what the? I don't know how to
Yeah,
feel. Like
yeah. It's like, what are you smoking?
am I being gaslit right now? And
Mhm.
really, like, you're gonna have to go to your friends now to like
Yeah.
figure out who the
Yeah.
like. You're gonna have to go to Dave. Just go to
Yeah,
Dave.
exactly.
Go
Dave,
to me.
Subscribe to the
Yeah.
Start Thumb podcast.
yeah.
or-
The marketers have caught up, man. They've realized that like traditional media, IGN, all that shit, that's dead. And like they know social media is the place to be, so they're willing to put out millions upon millions of dollars to buy these people out. I mean, for that one Star Wars, whatever with the chick, I forget what it was called. Now I
Outlaw.
can't even remember. Outlaws, yeah, they were bringing people out, giving them whale tours, you know, whale spotting tours, taking them to Disney World. Like they didn't pay them for the review, mind you, to do the review, but they brought them out,
You know,
put them up in a
yeah.
hotel. They didn't pay them, so you don't have to disclose that. But you know, in order to play their game, you get, you know, several thousands of dollars worth of, you know, hotel fees and stays and tours. Just for
Dude,
the hell
if
of
I
it, I
was
guess.
if I was a reviewer like that and I got that offer, I would just wait for like one game for me to do it and just cash out on it and just be like so brutal at the end.
Yeah.
Be like, you know what? All right, I got my one trip that I could take my family with to Disney World. I'm gonna be brutally honest afterwards. You're never gonna get it again. Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah. I'm done.
Jeez, it's just that's like what people do. Like when you invite like businessmen from another country, you take them to the strip club. You know,
Mhm.
that's basically the same thing. Like, hey, hey, did you like the game? I don't know yet. Let's want to go to Disney World.
Let's go see some titties. Yeah. How
Yeah,
about now?
and you know,
Can't put them in the
whenever
game, but we could go and show you them off site, and you know.
and this happens a lot within our sphere, where you wonder why two people with opposing views or a smart guy is friends with a retard.
Mhm.
Right? I'm not gonna say any names, but you wonder why is this smart guy hanging out with this retard? But it's because that retard showed him a good time, and the smart guy was like, yeah, he's not so bad. They're actually good people, and that's the same thing with the game industry. Like, if you take a 23-year-old gamer has college debt, and you take him and say, hey, this game's releasing, we're gonna let you play it for an hour and make them feel important, make them feel like they're part of the community, maybe give them a trip, a tour of the studio, whatever you got to do. Which is, I think they're doing now a lot too. They're
Oh yeah.
giving street tour. Oh, come to the studio where there's just computers and tired people typing and programming, um, and a statue of our main character. They're just, I guess it's just there's not they're doing this to young people with big accounts, and the young people think that they're being objective or like I'm like, no, dude, you're a manipulation tool. They're using you to convince other people that the game is amazing and awesome, but we don't know yet. The game is not even out. So yeah, it's just you're gonna have to go to your friends now. You go to your friends or wait a month and to see the player base, like the number of players. That's
Mhm.
all you got now. That's all
No,
you got.
that's definitely, yeah. If you just wait a while, see what the retention is on it, see what people are saying like after a month, after that initial hype died down, and see how much they like it. And that's all you can do. Besides, you know, just finding someone that you can trust and like shares your same taste. That's why kind of the things where I said where like if you're part of a niche or you find a group that's very niche, a lot of times they're very harsh. You know, have
Mhm.
very specific standards that they want out of a game, and if it doesn't meet it, then they'll tell you. As long as they're not, you know,
Yeah.
it's the million reviewer accounts that you just can't trust anymore.
Faceless
But
accounts that have nothing to gain or lose, those are the ones I kind of trust more for reviews. It's like 4chan, right? Like someone on Facebook or Twitter with an account and something to lose, they're not as trustworthy as some kind of like guy with just a number attached to their post saying, "Hey, this is what I think of this game." So there's that too.
yeah, exactly. It's just their opinion, and they don't have any. There's no reason for them to shill for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
All right, you guys want to wrap this one up?
I think so. Only thing I'll say in the end, like, what do you do to find good games? I mean, just to wrap it up, I say niche down. Find stuff that's more specific. There's a lot of old stuff that you can still play, and even then, like, there's also like some gems, like Nuke was mentioned, Expedition 33, really liked. Occasionally, like, they'll release some good Helldivers last year. They'll release some games that are usually a lot of times cheaper and solid games at the end. I don't know what's your thoughts on that? How you find media that you still enjoy, not necessarily video games.
Yeah, that's more or less the same way I would say, Dave. I mean, on the media front, it's just definitely like the old stuff. To be honest, I mean, there's so many good old movies that you could just spend like an entire lifetime watching them, and you would like never run out. Well, you don't need to watch any of the new stuff. Same thing with like TV shows. Well, they're out there. People know it. Go watch The Sopranos. Go watch House. Don't watch Game of Thrones. Go. You'll figure it out.
Yeah. For me, wait, just give it a little bit of time. Don't buy it on release. Like obviously, there's gonna be some games that like are too tied to your feeling of nostalgia and the hype and all that stuff. Like I wasn't not gonna buy Sparking Zero when it came out. Like I grew up with Dragon Ball. There's no way I wasn't gonna buy it this first week it came out. And my brother wanted me to play it with me, and my friends were like, there's nothing you can do there, right? They won the nostalgia battle. But I say in general, wait, give it some time. If it's a console, wait too. Like I know that we love to be part of the hype and all that stuff, but sometimes you don't know what problems a console, and it's your money, it's your hard-earned
You
money.
never buy the new machine. You never want to be an early adopter. You gotta wait.
Yeah, obviously, if someone gifted it to you, sure, but like, don't buy the PlayStation 6 the day it comes out. Give it some time. It's gonna have issues. You know the state of the gaming industry and all that. And man, the only people I trust before I buy a game is the Before You Buy channel. I think it's or the series. I think it's IGN or something because they do not talk about uh it's just they kind of attack it like, what type of gamer are you? Do you like to grind? Like some guys like to sit on a Sunday afternoon and just play and grind for 3 hours. That's their thing. Hey, do you like a story driven game? Don't get this game, or get this game, or this is the problem. Like, are you that type of gamer? So I kind of like them, but overall, just references from your friends, and I would even say look at look at the history of the game, like the development, like the articles. Like if they're firing people up until the release of the game, if there's a lot of like churn um in that company while they're making the game, then be careful. You'll probably want to wait until, maybe 3 or 4 months after the game releases, because if a company can't figure out how to keep its employees happy and productive and making good stuff, then the game is probably going to reflect that. But that's just me. That's how I find good media. In terms of movies, anything with time travel, I'm done. No more time travel. Unless it's like that's the purpose of the movie. Any writing that includes time travel, I'm not going to watch, because I'm going to glaze over. I'm going to fall asleep in the movie theater. I'm not going to understand anything. I'm done with Marvel. There is no way I'm ever going to watch another Marvel movie. Maybe in 20 years when it's somebody else reboots it. Um, no more female empowered, like girl boss movies. I'm done with that. Some of them might be good, but I can't. Like I need maybe another 10 years before I can watch one. And then anything that's recommended by my friends.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah.
When I saw that new Jurassic Park stars like Scarlett Johansson, or seems to focus on her, I'm like, I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And maybe I'll watch it when it's like on Netflix. Like I'll be like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm curious, right? But spending time and energy and having like hope for something anymore. I usually whenever I like watch a good movie, I'm surprised. I'm like, wow, not bad. But when was the last time we even watched a good movie in theaters anyway? So
Mm. Yeah. And to back what what Red Hawk said. I think there is enough video games that have been made. I think at this point in history that you can keep playing them to the end of days. Well, maybe at least for at least 20 years. There's a lot of good games. You just got to learn one to figure out how to use emulators, which can be a problem with the FBI trying to shut down a bunch of pirate sites. But like figure out how to use ZNES, like some of that older stuff. There's so many good games out there. It's just you got to attack it with an open mind, because if you're used to like 3D camera follows you type of stuff, then you might find some like the older style games, some of the mechanics a little bit jarring and not to your taste. But I kind of like to take the approach that there really isn't like any outdated mechanics. It's just they were mechanics, for their time, and there is some good things about them that you know that you may not be obvious at the start of it. You just gotta kind of attack it with an open mind. But thank you guys for joining us. Like I said, there's still plenty of stuff out there. It's just you got to have like the power to sort of resist the sort of social media, the hype train, and that kind of stuff that wants to try to pull you into this stuff.
Here,
All
man.
right. Well, yeah, it's a great topic. I always love talking about video games. I love or media in general. It's fun.
Me too. All right, guys. Catch you later. Goodbye. Oh, sorry. Was there anything you wanted to promote before we go?
The Substack. I put it in the chat. So yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
Check out the Old Glory Club. That's where most of my stuff is. So.
Yeah. Right on. Of course, my channel's right here. So check me out every Sunday, 9 a.m. EST. Bye now. Oh, no, I video.